I'm Andrea Giles, and you're listening to the Heal from Infidelity podcast, episode number 68, Effective Communication. Hello, and welcome to the Heal from Infidelity podcast, where courageous women learn not only to heal from their spouse's betrayal, but to become the boldest, truest, most decisive, and confident versions of themselves ever. If you know there's more for you than the life you're currently living, but don't quite know how to get there, you are in the right place. Stick around to learn how to create a life that will knock your own socks off. Is it possible? It is, and I'm here to show you how. I'm your host, Andrea Giles. Are you ready? Let's dive in. Hello, everybody. Episode number 68 here. Today, we are going to talk about communication. Now, if you go several episodes back, I did another one about communication. Can't remember the exact name of it, but it was about communication. But the more that I learn about my clients, the more that I learn about fears and about feeling safe to communicate, the more I see that I want to add to it, that there's some things that we can continue to learn, things to continue to try to communicate more effectively and also to feel more safe while we're doing so. Much of the reason why we don't say what we want to say is because we don't feel safe, because we're scared, because we're afraid of rejection. We're afraid of the pushback. And so we don't say it. And so in this episode, I'm going to talk to you about what it looks like, some different ways of going about communicating that I hope you will find helpful and that I hope will encourage you to go say those things that you're carrying around that you want to say. Okay. You hear me talk about vulnerability a lot, that becoming more vulnerable is key to leaning in to growing a relationship. So for those of you who are in the space of considering staying with your partner, being vulnerable is something important. And it can feel very scary, but it is important because it's in vulnerability that we let ourselves be seen, that we share our true feelings, and that we invite the other person to share theirs. Okay. Now, if you go back a few episodes, I did an episode about attachment styles. They're anxious, avoidant, or secure. And depending on what your attachment style is, it can show up in communication. It can make us feel even more unsafe. And then when trust is broken, we even feel more unsafe on top of it. So let's say you already felt unsafe, and then maybe you feel even more so now. And so these tips are to help you to feel more safe and to go have those conversations. Okay. So first of all, I want to talk about what many of us do in these situations. This is many of my clients. This is myself at times. Instead of having the conversations, we wait. We wait and wait until it feels safe enough to talk. And guess what? Often that day never comes, or we just avoid it altogether and feel frustrated and trapped, like we can't move forward because we can't talk to our spouse. We feel so much of our own discomfort at just the thought of the discussion that we talk ourselves right out of it before we begin. While this is understandable, it is not serving us. We could just end the relationship without the discussion and say, I'm done, it's over. But we still have not grown in our ability to feel safe in conversations and will likely carry that pattern with us. So where do we begin? A huge first step is teaching your brain that you're worthy of being heard. You're worthy of having a vote, of having an opinion. Reminding yourself of that again and again, that you're more than this people-pleasing machine that's there to hustle for your worth. You're more than the person who says yes to everything to keep the peace, okay? The more you practice this thought that you're worthy of being heard, worthy of having a vote, having an opinion, the more your body will respond to it and believe it and will feel more comfortable in it. For some of my clients, they can't quite get there logically yet. They don't believe it. They don't believe that they're worthy of being heard. Or maybe they do believe it logically, but they don't believe it in their body. Their body kicks it out and gives them this sense of fear around that thought. So, what I do is I encourage my clients to practice feeling what it feels like to be safe. Okay. Not intellectually safe, but inside their body. And this happens through many modalities. So, you've heard me talk about meditation, prayer, journaling, breathing, tapping. The more we practice these things, the more we are reminding our brains that we are safe. That is when we can use our prefrontal cortex or our wise brain to help us to take courageous steps forward. We know, at least on some level, that we can handle the discomfort of that this is the crux of building trust. Okay. Building trust with yourself that you can handle it. Okay. Next, being really clear in your own mind, getting really clear on what you want as an outcome for the conversation. Okay. What is it that you want? We may want to be heard of what our opinion is. We may have a request. We may want to express our frustration with how something is being handled. We may want to communicate a boundary. We may want to share the hurt we feel without our spouse shutting us down because they are uncomfortable. We may want to see how the other person responds to us as data about how willing our partner is to move forward with us as we try to heal and create something better in our marriages. Knowing what you are coming for, the result that you want, will help give you the courage to say the hard things. Okay. Next, strategy. There is some strategy to how things are said. Have you ever felt attacked when somebody's talking to you? Like they come to communicate and it feels like they're just coming at you. What happens? I know for me, if I feel attacked, my walls go up. I shut down. I don't want to talk at all. Okay. So our approach matters. And it's the difference between the person on the other end turning to you or turning away from you. In Dr. Julie Hank's book that I've talked about before, it's called The Assertiveness Guide for Women. She talks about something called the soft start. It's a way of approaching a conversation that helps both people feel at ease. Okay. So I'm going to give you some tips from her book. It's not all from her book. Some of it is modified by myself about what a soft start looks like. Okay. Here's some ideas. Number one, time it right. This means paying attention to the surroundings. Are they on their way out the door? Are they in the car and you're calling them on the phone? Are you feeling highly emotional? This will not help you. Remember, when we feel highly emotional, our brains signal danger. This was developed as a way to keep us safe from physical danger, such as being attacked. If we go into it in this way, our brains will already be in fight or flight mode, and our true wise selves will be put on the back burner. Okay. Safety will seem like the most important thing. So don't have the conversation if you're highly emotional. Wait until you are calm. Wait until you are both somewhat at ease. Number two, ask for permission. So remember, we are not asking permission to speak, to share, etc. We are extending an invitation to someone we care about to engage in a conversation with us. This looks like saying to our spouse, I was hoping we could figure out a time to discuss some things that have been on my mind. What would work for you? Or are you open to talking about some concerns of mine? Or I would like to talk about a few things. Is now a good time? This may feel uncomfortable because there is some vulnerability in it. They may say no. They may not agree to a time. In this case, you can try again. You can step into a conversation and just talk from a calm place without waiting on them because it may never come. Or you can use this as data and information about the willingness of your partner to be open to you. Either way, you're learning something. Another thing that you can do is follow up with, is now a good time? And if they say no, then you get a time, a commitment. Then when is a good time? And get a commitment. Okay. Number three, keep it private. Sometimes we feel safe for saying things with other people around. For example, our spouse may have said something we don't like in front of other people, and we may feel hurt by it. It can be very tempting in the moment to lash out, to call them out in front of others, to let people know we aren't being walked on. But really, embarrassing that person in front of others won't have the desired result of growing closer. It will push you further away from each other. In private, we can share our feelings about the matter in a non-reactive way when we are calm. We can respond to the thing we did or said without escalating things more. Okay, number 4. This is a really important one. Put down your crystal ball. Okay, what does that mean? It means assuming that you already know how something is going to go. He always responds in this way. You know what? It may well be that when we approach things in a certain way, we can pretty much predict the outcome. Okay. If nothing changes, nothing changes. Okay. So, for example, if I have a bone to pick with a child of mine, if I go to them and they feel attacked, they get defensive. If I talk to them as if I'm on their team and want what is best for them, things go differently. What would not be helpful to me is going into that discussion assuming that they're going to respond in this certain way. And then the thing is, I would create that very result. Okay. So if I go in there annoyed already with this all or nothing thinking that this is the way it's going to go, I'm going to create that because I'm going to show up the same way I always have, which means the kid very likely will show up the way that they always have. So if we put down that crystal ball and go, I really don't know how this is going to be received because I'm approaching it in a different way, then it allows you to be curious and open, which will be much more beneficial, right? We can have a much higher chance of influencing the conversation to go the way we hope it does if we are open to waiting and seeing what happens, right? Not determining beforehand that it's not going to be received well. Now, you can still rehearse conversations in your mind ahead of time, in your mind or on paper, and that's okay. But if you find yourself feeling emotional as you rehearse and even annoyed at what you think the response will be, you are likely holding tight to that crystal ball. Are you willing to set it down? I love the thought, I am willing to be wrong, or I am willing to be surprised. It helps me to open up. Part of putting down that crystal ball is really listening to what the other person has to say without assuming you know what they will say. Listen, focus on what they are saying. As I have heard my husband tell my kids at least 1,000 times, listen to understand, not to respond. I've heard him say that so many times when they are so fast with the comeback, right? He'll very calmly say, listen to understand, not to respond. Number 5, okay, breathe and pause. So let's say you have jumped into the conversation and you feel some anxiety rising up in yourself or some other emotion. I want to give you some tips on what to do here. First, it's okay to just monitor your breath. You can listen and notice your breath at the same time. You can notice if you're getting out of breath. You can notice if your heart rate is climbing. You can practice deep breaths as you are listening. This will help to calm your nervous system and help you to be more present and remind you that you're safe. If you are still feeling really anxious or whatever that other emotion is, it's okay to push pause. If things start getting heated, if you don't like the direction things are going, you can pause the conversation. I teach my clients to push pause before reacting to an emotion. And this is the same thing. If we become highly emotional, we may just react in a way that makes that crystal ball prediction come true. So take a pause. You can simply say, I need a moment to collect my thoughts and stay in that same space just quietly for a minute. Or you can ask to revisit the topic at a later time. Both are okay. Being honest with yourself and not just pushing through here will ultimately get you the result you want most. Lastly, watch your body language. Sometimes our body language can be a big giveaway of what is going on in our mind. If we are standing with our arms crossed throughout the whole conversation, our partner may not feel like we are being open. or if we're quick to roll our eyes or to scowl or to back away. Our tone of voice is huge too. You can be saying the kindest words with a hard or fake tone, and that is usually what is heard, not the words themselves. Okay, so how can this help you? Whether you are staying or going, or in the middle of that decision, or if the decision's already done, these tools can help you. And I'll give you a few examples of how. Okay, client number one. One of my clients is married and she's trying to decide what to do. For a long time, things have been stalled out, no progress, avoiding each other. Because so many things have been ignored, my client does not feel like she can, in integrity, just walk away. She wants to at least give the opportunity to hear and be heard. So she has been practicing these tools to step into conversations and gather more information, which gets her closer to her decision. So even though she's not sure, she's able to have these conversations that give her the clarity, right? That move things forward. Okay, client number two. She's navigating divorce and all the things that go with it. Finances, custody, etc. Going into those conversations open and wanting to find a solution greatly improve the odds for her that she will get the outcome she desires. If she goes in on the fight, human nature is that we will automatically pick up our swords and try to fight back. Things can escalate real quick. Cooperation can come to an end, and that person becomes the enemy, and we don't get what we want. Client number three. She knows she wants to stay, but she can see how many things have been misunderstood over the years. Both of them have fallen into patterns that have led to major problems in their marriage. So she is practicing creating a space where communication becomes safe and open, and they are able to become closer and closer. Now, I want to address a couple of things. We often think that saying hard things will drive people away from you. We are so afraid of being further rejected that we don't dare risk being cut off altogether. But the truth is that real intimacy comes from really knowing the minds and hearts of another, even if there is initial tension in speaking your mind. These conversations have huge potential of bringing you closer as you clear up any assumptions you have been carrying, know more in detail why things happened the way they did, etc. Even though some of the details can be hard to hear, truth is a healer. Truth is a healer. It can help mend things to know you're both being honest with each other, even if the truth hurts. Next, I hear people ask why they have to try so hard. Why am I the one having to learn all of these things and initiate the conversations and put myself out there? My answer to you, my friends, is why not you? Why not you? Aren't you worth the growth required here? Aren't you worth developing these skills? There is no downside to this work, period. None. Whether you stay married or not, whether your partner responds well to you or not, learning to communicate better will serve you in all of your conversations throughout the rest of your life. You will respect yourself more because you will know that you are not hiding from yourself. You can stand up a little taller and see your own growth. You can know that you're living more in courage and less in fear. You're living more in integrity and less in fear. You're not letting fear dictate what conversations you have and what things you say and don't say. There's no downside. So I challenge you, my friends, to think about something that's been on your mind. What's something that has been on your mind? I want you to use this format. I want you to think about how you can have that conversation. I want you to think about how you can have that soft start. How you can go into it in a way that is inviting and open. Most important of all, how you can create within your own body the safety that you need to step into this conversation. How can you remind yourself that you are worth it, that you're worth being heard? You are worth having an opinion. You are an individual. You are not an offshoot of somebody else. You are your own person with your own mind, your own brain, your own thoughts, your own experience, your own gifts. Okay? You have genius to share. You have beautiful things to share and beautiful things to give. Practice believing that and then practice communicating it. That's all I have for the podcast today. I want to just tell you that I'm getting very close to having my baby. I'm coming up. So I wanted to let you know that I plan to have this podcast still come out every week while I am on maternity leave. But if for some reason one does not get dropped, it will the next week. Okay. If there's any gaps, I don't plan for them to be any gaps, but if there are, I'm kind of leaving myself open to, trying to be flexible with this baby, as I've not had a baby in 12 years. So I've done some pre-recordings, lots of guests that I'm going to be bringing to you while I'm out, things like that. But if there's any gaps in it, please know that I will be back, that it's temporary, that I'm coming back with the regular schedule. Okay. All right, my friends, I will say one more quick thing. I am working hard to make a program for you that is going to be amazing. I'm so excited about it. It's going to be amazing. And soon I will have a wait list that's going to be offered, and you'll be able to go either grab your spot. It's very limited for this first group. It's very limited. You can grab your spot and get that spot, know that it's yours, or you can get on the wait list for when I have my official launch. But it's coming. I am working on last minute things to get it ready to present to you. And I'm very, very excited about it. It's been special for me to create. Anyway, so much love to all of you. Hope you're doing well. I hope you're feeling like you're moving, like you're progressing. And I will see you next time. All right. Bye-bye. Thank you for listening to the Heal from Infidelity podcast. If you would like to be kept in the know about upcoming free classes, new podcast episodes, and other ways of working with me, go subscribe to my weekly email. You can subscribe at AndreaGiles.com/lies-about-infidelity/. Again, it's AndreaGiles.com/lies-about-infidelity/. I will see you next time.